What's going on? It's the Big Rig Bull, Texas truck accident lawyer Reshard Alexander, here again today on a Sunday afternoon, or Sunday, brunch time, I guess. Look, so I need you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button before we even go any further with this vlog today. Today I brought a few things to lunch with me. I got 3 eggs, 3 roast beef sandwiches, 2 apples, some tomatoes and cucumber. Oh, here's that other sandwich. And some hummus. And I have my homemade Vietnamese iced coffee. I got the hot sauce in my bag. I keep it here at the office, and I got a vat of grape juice because someone spilled the grape juice at the house and the cap broke, so I had to go ahead and use the rest of it or get rid of it, So today I'm going to focus on building my content and reading more about truck accident law, because like I said, I have a few books that came in, and I need to read some more about different things that I'm kind of looking at right now. So that's what's happening today. The site is coming along really well. I mean, I have some other things I need to do with it, but the main thing is getting the content in there. So 10 pages a day or so will get the job done. It just dawned on me that instead of complaining about the heat every weekend, I just need to get a fan. I mean, that would make things so much more simpler. So yeah, I gotta get a fan. I'll just have me one of those big box fans, used to put in the window. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. And I'm going back on these going back on some of these videos and putting some more links in, but it's gonna be a little while today. You ever just want to take a day off? Where there are no days off around here, okay? Ain't no days off. Not right now. Not when you're trying to build. Not when you're building something. These other lawyers, they're trying to make you feel bad for working. But, everybody has to live their life. You got to live your life for you. You know what your goals and dreams are. You know what you're trying to accomplish. Live your life on your own terms. Don't worry about, what other people got to say as far as, you work a lot and stuff like that. Because no one walks in your shoes and no one lives your life. That's why I try not to worry about what other people are doing. I try not to be in other people's business, anything like that. I just do my own thing, because you don't have time, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always surprised how people have so much time to critique the world, like, I got so many things I'm trying to fix and do and accomplish my own self. I rarely have time to even, and do the things that I enjoy, let alone look at other people and knock them down. But, it is what it is. I don't know what y'all want to hear about on, what do you want to talk about on that little board session today? I thought about discussing the history of truck accident litigation in America. Seemed like an interesting topic. I don't know if I have time today, though. Never would have thought I could do a vlog every single day. But it's happening, Captain. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today you're talking to the Big Rig Bull, Texas truck accident lawyer Reshard Alexander, back in the building, hot building, today on a Saturday night. Today is episode 49. We are briefly going to cover loading and unloading rules for hazardous material shipments. We're going to discuss what is a qualified person. So let's go ahead and get started. This is this may not be like the best I've ever written in the past. The pen is a little light, and I don't know if you can really see all this. So bear with me as we get started on this. First of all, what you need to know is that a qualified person under these rules is someone who is aware of the nature of hazardous materials, someone who's been instructed in emergency procedures, and someone who's been basically authorized and is capable of moving the cargo tank or the actual commercial motor vehicle. When we're talking about securing packages, a package of hazardous material cannot be permanently attached to any vehicle when it must be secured against a movement. There can be no interaction between packages and or materials. They have to minimize the likelihood of damage of those materials, and it has to be loaded in accordance with the orientation arrow markings, if there are any, on the package or the materials. When I say orientation markings, this is common sense. I'm sure you know what I mean. If you have some arrows on the side of a box that say this side up, the material, whatever it is, it has to actually face the way that it has been stored in that package. Obviously, this is common sense. There is no smoking around hazardous materials or packages that contain hazardous materials. Class 1 explosives, Class 3 flammable liquids, Class 5 oxidizers, or Division 2.1 flammable gas materials. Why is there no smoking around these, ladies and gentlemen? Let's think. If we put a flame around an explosive, what is the likelihood that something tragic is going to happen? Very high. So there's no smoking around hazardous materials or hazmat trucks or anything containing a hazardous material. When you're dealing with the loading and unloading of hazardous material shipments, the handbrake is supposed to be set during the loading and unloading of hazardous materials. This makes sense. We don't want a truck or something to roll away. It's just common sense at this point. When you're dealing with the tools that help you unload hazardous material shipments, the tools must be used with caution. You don't want to use a tool in a way that it would damage the packages or materials, especially if it was a Class 1 explosive. So, that's, like I said, this is common sense stuff, but, I had to make a vlog today, so, and I had to talk about hazardous materials because I said I would, so this is what we're discussing. As far as attending vehicles, so there are attendance requirements for unloading and loading hazardous materials. The main thing is that what you need to know is that a hazmat truck or a truck containing hazardous materials or substances must be attended at all times by a qualified person. We already went over what a qualified person is. A qualified person is someone who's aware of the nature of the hazardous materials. It's someone who's instructed in the emergency procedures. And it's someone who's authorized and capable of moving that cargo tank or truck or commercial motor vehicle. They must attend at all times, and they are responsible for loading the cargo and attending the cargo. Now, the thing about it is the motor carrier's obligation to oversee unloading the hazardous material stops or halts when the carrier's transportation obligation is completed. Number 2, when the cargo tank is placed on the consignee's premises. And 3, when the motive power is removed from the cargo tank and the premises. So going back to what I was saying earlier about qualified attendance. Qualified attendance is met by a person who is alert. Number 2 is within 25 meters of the cargo tank. And number 3 has an unobstructed view of the cargo tank and delivery holes to the maximum practicable extent. Alright, now there's also another way to have qualified attendance for the most part, and that would be electronic surveillance. Electronic surveillance is met when there's video monitoring by a camera that gives an unobstructed view of all the equipment involved as far as the loading or unloading of the hazardous material shipment. The surveillance system is equal to one human observer. The shutoff valves are operable from a remote control location. Upon loss of the electronic surveillance, the operations will immediately cease. Containment area is capable of holding contents of as many cargo tanks that might be loaded at one time. The qualified person must conduct a visual inspection of the cargo tank after unloading and prior to departure. Now, the other one is if there are hoses involved. Now, the main thing that you need to know about the hoses is that the hoses need to be checked every 60 minutes, and they need to be capable of cutting off on either side, receiving or giving, within 1 second of an incident occurring, and it needs to be without human interaction. So it has to be able just to kind of automatically shut off. That wraps up today's vlog for vlog 49 for loading and unloading rules for hazardous material shipments. This is the Big Rig Bull, Texas truck accident lawyer Reshard Alexander, signing out and hoping you have a blessed day. I will see you again tomorrow like I always do, right about this time.
Ryan Little.